Hungry Jake here with, yet again, a vehicle that nobody would guess, a German tank destroyer. This time I'm in the Jagdpanzer IV, and, well, I guess it would feel somewhat at home here on the Berlin map. This is actually a top tier, tier 6 game with some tier 5s mixed in. That is fairly rare. And this is still one of the 3 that I had pre-recorded to add narration to that had the engine noise bug that you could not fix. Typically, you can actually fix the engine noise issue, which, as you can hear, it's just silent. All the other noises are present, but for some reason, World of Tanks has the audio split. It's where engine noises are a whole different, I guess, segment, you'd say. And sometimes the replays just get bugged to where typically you just restart it, go back and just click literally the 20-second back, which is your left arrow, and it normally will bring the sounds right back. However, up until this very last update, restarting a replay caused it to crash. So, just like the Panther game on Lakeville that I featured last, and one Jagdtiger game I have coming up, there won't be any engine sounds. After the recent update, the engine sounds are back. Or at least the ability to get rid of the replay bugs, because there's 2 replay bugs, the engine noise and Sixth Sense being stuck on. And my team and the enemy team have both given me a chance to go through this whole spiel before we get into any actual actions. As the first real action is the Sherman Jumbo pushing forward, killing our Skoda T25. I did, yes, immediately load a APCR shell for him. And I am booking it because of what you just saw. The LEF. And as you can see, that guy loves his LEF. And the Sherman Jumbo player loves his. Because they have 2 of the most games played, along with the enemy Leopard and KV-1. I can't blame the Leopard. It's a fun tank. But I actually kind of like that whole elite system. It lets you know, since I don't run any mods, I don't think you should run mods in a multiplayer game. But it lets me know what to expect out of the people. They at least are familiar with and know those vehicles. So I know this Leopard, he gets a force field that the Chinu does not benefit from. But that Leopard, he ends up being a bit of a pain. Not really a spoiler, but just as more of a long term, keep an eye on the Leopard. The Berza gets away through his quick maneuvering, actually. The Chinu, he has no luck. He pokes right when I'm ready to aim at him. And somebody with less luck is the VK. As you'll see, I'm actually sniping him through the window. Takes a couple tries to get the next one to go through, but it will. And there it is. We're losing both flanks as it is. There hasn't been a whole lot to say about the game itself, but as you notice, I tend to kind of look at the larger scope of things. It looked like I was going to get focused by artillery. It also looked like our team was going to sit back and maybe get pushed. So I don't want to be the focus of that LEF. And they also have an M44, so 2 of the most annoying, I mean, they are capable artillery, but it's very annoying to get on the receiving end of this. And now with the SU-100, which at this tier has some armor, he's moving up. I'm not going to let him do it solo. So I'm coming back up off the back line, and I'm going to push forward. But he's drove right into a cross, and he is getting hit in the side. The Leopard is hilariously spamming APCR. If you're going to fire APCR, make sure that the APCR actually has a significant advantage, because the 3 centimeter flak gun, which is what that is, or it's an autocannon, but I think it was fitted on some German aircraft as well. But the APCR does not offer much extra. And it actually, of course, APCR has less normalization. So on angled armor, it's more likely to bounce versus regular AP. The normalization, in layman's terms, is basically the ability of the shell to dig in to the armor. And while I was actually moving to support the SU-100, we've lost the entire north flank, and I couldn't remember if those barriers were destructible. So I took a shot with an AP shell, and it's not destructible. So back to the back line yet again. Because if you've never played the Jagdpanzer IV, you have decent mobility, but you have very good concealment and very, very high DPM. As you can see there, this is what you have to do. You have to learn to play from concealment and abuse the DPM. If that KB1 is going to think he's going to sit there, he's going to get tracked, he's going to fix it, and then he's going to be retracked. And that's, if he doesn't think real fast, that could have been avoided. If the first time he took a hit, he realized, oh, Jagdpanzer IV, reverse it, he could have survived that. But even just a momentary pause like he did to try to get another shot on the LEF, that cost him his tank. Which is part of why I love this vehicle. So I'm not the most skilled in my aiming. I like the DPM because you can fling a shot that's low percentage chance. And this has enough concealment that you can work the camo. You can use bushes here. And by double bushing, you basically, even though this is not a premium tank destroyer, so you don't get the old concealment after firing, you have so much concealment that, like right here, I don't honestly know how I spotted the M44. I shouldn't have been able to. As you see, it was opaque through 2 rows of bushes. I should not have spotted him, but it gave me the credit of spotting him. And here, I was just taking a presumptuous shot because I didn't have the outline of the KV-1 SA, and I actually was shooting through some destructible cover. That's one of the biggest annoyances. If you're looking through destructible cover, you should get the outline, but it won't give it to you if you're firing, say, through a tree or a fence. And here, I am actually concealed from the Leopard until I fire. And of course that's going to get me spotted. So I pull forward to use this barrier, because my suspicion is that the KV-1 SA and the Ram are both over here. At least one was. And now I'm going to keep them guessing, because the artillery still think that I'm over to my right, but I'm going to go way left. Because, quite simply, as I see my teammates, the Skoda and ELC, they haven't been real active, but now they're doing a big end around, looking like they're going to go capture. So that's perfectly fine by me. If they go capture, or at least get rid of that LEF, I can work on the Ram and the KV-1. These two combined have less health than me, and although the Ram's got a lot of DPM, it's going to take a number of shots to do anything to me, as long as I don't get double tracked. That's the big thing. The Jagdpanzer IV, you can't get double tracked, and you got to watch that you don't take your take hits to where you get your transmission and engine knocked out. That can happen through the front, because in orbital tanks, the engine and transmission are all one unit by the modules. So if you get your transmission knocked out, it'll just show up as engine damage. And that's right through the front armor. So if that Ram is firing premium, he will just slice straight through the 80 millimeters of frontal armor I have. And we know basically where he is. He's just going to run the ravine there. And I thought the platoon was going to cap, but they're actually charging in. And I get eyes on the KV-1SA. He's got half health. And I can easily win that DPM trade. So I post up here. Get one shot in. I'm actually tucking into this little barrier, trying to prevent him from having a super easy shot. And then I notice I have 5 kills. If I can sneak around here and get the last shot, I actually get a top gun.
I appreciate it.
And the ELC is even thanking me for it. It ended up being ace with high caliber and the top gun. And of course, ace is, you did better than 99% of the people playing the tank in the last week. Also got the Duelist, Fire for Effect, and Bruiser. This actually ended up being a over 15,000 WN8 game with just about 3,600 damage and 6 kills. We'll move on to the actual team list. It shows myself with the 3,591 damage, 6 kills, and 1,424 base experience. And the LAF and Humble on my team were the next up. But it was a solid game. Made some credits because I didn't spam premium. I hope you enjoyed that. And thanks for watching.